Welcome back to the Pitfall Pod, the show where speed meets storytelling. Today we're diving into the tight corners and long straights of Baku for the 2025 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, a race that never disappoints. From daring overtakes on the Caspian shoreline to the drama in the castle section, we've got every twist, turn, and shock from race weekend. Buckle up and we break down the key moments, standout drives, and the battles that set the championship ablaze. Free practice one. Norris stops and stop-start session. Let's kick things off with Friday's first practice in Baku, and what a chaotic FP1 it was. After a 2 week break, the field hit the streets under cloudy but dry skies. McLaren immediately looked sharp. Lando Norris set the ultimate benchmark with a 1:42.704, edging teammate Oscar Piastri by 3 tenths, with Ferrari's Charles Leclerc half a second back in third. The session had everything. Early radio drama for McLaren as Norris was called in to remove a loose component cover, while Piastri was told to back off to protect the power unit. Williams driver Carlos Sainz dislodged a curb at turn 16, bringing out a lengthy red flag, and George Russell reported a burning smell while still managing P4, and Alex Albon lost a mirror before tamping the well to end P5. When the track went green again, Norris underlined his pace, improving by over a second on soft tires. Behind him, Verstappen never hooked up a clean lap, clipping turn 15 and settling for P7, while Lewis Hamilton kissed the wall at turn 5 and damaged his front wing. Top 5 of FP1, Norris with a 1:42.704, 2 Piastri, 3 tenths off, 3 Leclerc, 5 tenths off, Russell in fourth also 5 tenths off, and Albon in fifth with 8 tenths off Norris. So McLaren ends FP1 with a statement, a 1-2 on the streets of Baku. Teams will now crunch the numbers before FP2 at 4 o'clock local time, but the papaya cars clearly mean business this weekend. Free practice 2. Ferrari fights back, Hamilton on top. Second session in Baku brought a shake-up at the sharp end. Lewis Hamilton led a Ferrari 1-2 with a blistering 1:41.293, just 7 hundredths of a second ahead of Charles Leclerc, as Mercedes and Ferrari traded fastest laps under the setting Caspian sun. Right from the green light, the action was frantic. Liam Lawson ran wide at turn 15, and even Hamilton had an early off at turn 7, while exploring the limits. Oscar Piastri came out swinging after his FP1 power unit issues, briefly topping times before the heavy hitters lowered the benchmark. Leclerc dipped under 1:42 first, but Hamilton responded on mediums, then sealed P1 on soft with 10 minutes to go. McLaren's strong FP1 form faded. Lando Norris struck the wall exiting turn 4, damaging his left rear suspension and parking his car for the rest of the session. Championship leader Piastri also brushed the tech bureau at turn 15 and later faced a yellow flag investigation, leaving the papaya cars just P10 and P12. Top 5 of FP2: 1 Hamilton, 2 Leclerc, 3 George Russell, 4 Kimi Antonelli, and 5th Ollie Bearman. Behind them, Max Verstappen could manage only P6, while Haas celebrated a double top 8 with Bearman and Esteban Ocon. Alex Albon, Norris, and Carlos Sainz rounded out top 10. So, as night falls in Baku, Ferrari and Mercedes look while evenly matched, while McLaren heads back to the garage with plenty to fix before Saturday's final practice and all-important qualifying. Free practice 3. Norris strikes back in the wind. Saturday morning in Baku served up tricky conditions and a clear statement from Lando Norris. The McLaren driver clocked a 1:41.223, fastest of the weekend so far, to lead Max Verstappen by 0.2 of a second and championship rival Oscar Piastri by also 0.2 of a second. Overnight rain had scrubbed the rubber off the streets, and gusty winds made braking zones unpredictable. Early on, Haas rookie Ollie Behrman ran deep at turn 4 and reported it's challenging with this wind, while much of the grid stayed in the garage until conditions stabilized. Once running, once running began, Charles Leclerc briefly set the pace at 1:43.048, despite a wild moment at the final corner. Verstappen was first to brake, the 1:42 barrier was a 1:41.727, but Norris answered with a session best lap that no one could match. Piastri battled oversteer at a turn 1 lockup and salvaging P3 on his final attempt. Top 5 after FP3: 1. Norris, 2. Verstappen, 3. Piastri, 4. Hamilton, and 5th Antonelli. Further back, George Russell slotted P6, Alex Albon impressed in P7, and Leclerc could manage only P10 after a late turn 4 off. With qualifying just hours away, McLaren has reasserted themselves. Ferrari looks slightly adrift, and the shifting Baku winds promise a high-stakes shootout for pole. Qualifying: red flag mayhem and a Verstappen masterclass. Baku delivered absolute chaos in qualifying, and in the end it was Max Verstappen who kept his cool to snatch back-to-back poles with a 1:41.117. He denied Carlos Sainz a fairy tale first pole for Williams by nearly half a second in the session that stretched to almost 2 hours, and set an F1 record with 6 red flags. Here's how the drama unfolded. Q1 opened with raindrops and carnage. Alex Albon hit turn 1 wall to trigger the first red flag, followed by incidents from Nico Hulkenberg and both Alpine's Pierre Gasly and Franco Colapinto. Through it all, Lando Norris topped the times, with Verstappen and Leclerc close behind. Q2 was no calmer. Haas rookie Ollie Behrman smacked the turn 2 barrier for the fourth stoppage of the day. Verstappen eventually led the segment, while Lewis Hamilton struggled and was shockingly eliminated in P12. Q3 was pure Baku bedlam. With rain threatening, Sainz threw down a stunning bank lap just before Charles Leclerc clipped the turn's 15 wall to cause a red flag number 5. On the restart, title leader Oscar Piastri crashed at turn 3, halting the session yet again. When the track finally went green, Verstappen produced a flawless lap to steal pole, while Sainz had to settle for a heroic P2. Top 5 after qualifying: 1. Verstappen, 2. Sainz, 3. Lawson, 4. Kimi Antonelli, and 5. George Russell. Norris managed only P7 after brushing the wall on his late run, while Piastri and Leclerc start even further back after their crashes. So after a practice week that hinted at McLaren dominance, it's Red Bull's reigning champion who stands tallest, with Sainz alongside and the midfield shaking up. Sunday's Grand Prix promises fireworks on the streets of Baku. Race recap: Baku 2025. Alright, folks, let's dive straight into the streets of Baku, because wow, the 2025 Azerbaijan Grand Prix delivered. From lights to flag, Max Verstappen was untouchable. Starting on pole, he never looked back, leading all 51 laps and crossing the line a massive 14.6 seconds clear of George Russell. That's domination with a capital D. Behind him, George Russell fought through a tough weekend. He's been feeling under the weather, but still brought home a superb P2 for Mercedes. And how about Carlos Sainz? First podium for Williams after barely missing pole on Saturday. A statement drive for the Spaniard. Youngster Kimi Antonelli kept the veterans honest in fourth, just missing out on the rostrum, while Liam Lawson grabbed a career best fifth for Racing Bulls. What a weekend for him. The big story though, Oscar Piastri, championship leader, out on lap 1 after a nightmare start. First jumped the lights, then hit anti-stall, then crashed at turn 5. 0 points and a golden chance for rival Lando Norris, but Norris only managed P7. Stuck behind Yuki Tsunoda's Red Bull in the closing laps, he closed back just 6 points, trimming Piastri's lead to 25 points. Further down the order, Tsunoda impressed with P6 and his best Red Bull finish. The Ferraris of Hamilton and Leclerc salvaged 8th and 9th, and rookie Isaac Hadjar round out top 10. One-stop strategy ruled the day. Safety car for Piastri early, then pure pace from Verstappen. He is now just 69 points off the championship lead with 7 rounds to go. Title fight? Very much alive. That's your Azerbaijan Grand Prix 2025 race rundown. Chaos at the start, perfection up front, and the championship picture suddenly wide open. Now, the Drivers' Championship top 5. 1. Oscar Piastri with 324 points. 2. Lando Norris with 299 points. 3. Max Verstappen with 255 points. George Russell in fourth with 212 points, and in fifth, Charles Leclerc with 165 points. Team Championship top 5. 1. McLaren with 623 points. 2. Mercedes with 290 points. 3. Ferrari with 286 points. 4. Red Bull with 272 points. And 5th, Williams with 101 points. And that wraps up our Azerbaijan Grand Prix 2025 coverage. What a weekend in Baku. Max Verstappen flawless, George Russell heroic despite illness, and Carlos Sainz delivering Williams' first podium of the season. Meanwhile, the championship fight just tightens as Lando Norris inches closer to Oscar Piastri after that shocking lap 1 crash. What's next? If one packs up and heads from the Caspian coast to the neon streets of the Marina Bay for the Singapore Grand Prix, October 3rd to October 5th. Night race, helmet air, walls that never forgive. It's a completely different challenge and a key turning point in the title battle. Thanks for tuning into the Pitwell Pod. Don't forget to follow, rate, and share so you never miss an episode. Until Singapore, I'm Hannah saying keep the throttle pinned and we'll see you under the lights in Marina Bay.